Customers are looking to save money, to do more with less, to reduce the management burden and overhead that technology has in their environment, because it's being identified that acquisition costs are relatively low compared to management costs over time. So we're seeing that the ongoing operational expenditure and capital acquisition costs for managing existing environments is very high. And there are some opportunities because money is being wasted with extra infrastructures. So virtualization, whether it's your server, whether it's your switch or your network, or whether it's your storage, basically means that you can have an opportunity to do more with less. And more with less doesn't mean reducing your service levels. It doesn't mean reducing functionality and the ability to be dynamic and answer the needs of your business. It simply means being more efficient in using your environment. So what customers are saying is, don't talk to me about just the storage. Don't talk to me just about virtualizing your CPUs. Don't talk to me about virtualizing just my network. Talk to me about everything to ensure my goal of providing business applications to my organization can be met in an efficient time. Some of the things that we've done, and this is very, very important, we've learned a lot in the years that we've been virtualizing environments. If you virtualize an environment, you need to ensure you have the management tools to be able to control, manage that environment. Because in a physical environment, it's relatively straightforward for a technical person to identify that A is connected to B, and here's where the problem is. In a virtualized environment, you don't often know what's connected to what. So you better have the tools to be able to resolve issues that might turn up in the future. So one of those things is how do you figure out what's connected to what? How do you figure out what's failed over to what? The tools that we've built allow you to do that. So what we're seeing is the customers don't want to do their own integration. They want the vendors to work together to be able to have an integrated environment where they can have an any-to-any relationship between the application, the server, the switch, and the storage to ensure better service levels whilst reducing the amount of infrastructure they need. Based on the utilization levels, and here's the opportunity for the customer, there's a lot of waste. During good times, people waste. It's a human nature. During times of economic downturn, people start looking at where they're spending money. So we have an opportunity to reduce servers. We're seeing some amazing statistics. Currently, you can reduce an Intel server farm by a factor of 10. Right? And we're seeing that happening every day. We're testing technologies now using new and faster processing power from Intel and so forth, that you can get a 40-to-1 reduction. Using Moore's law, which is technology doubles every year whilst reducing in price, we see a 100-to-1 reduction in the very near future of CPUs. So imagine that, 100 servers down to one big consolidated server. It's going to be feasible. But we're also helping with the management. So, for instance, currently an administrator decides where data resides, how applications sit on a server. We're going to have a policy-based scenario where you tell the system, i.e. VMware for instance, that I want this amount of CPU power, this amount of IOs, this amount of storage capacity. The system will find that capacity for you based on your service level. You can say that this particular business application needs to be replicated to our disaster recovery site, and it'll be taken care of without human intervention. Automatically managing the environment. Because we found that in an emergency, for instance in a disaster, when under pressure, the biggest challenge is the humans managing the environment. Obviously technology is not going to replace humans. We're going to help people design policy-based systems to be able to ensure that whatever they need running is running, and whatever information they need is there. We've also now given the ability to buy just what you need now and then grow in the future. So currently most storage technologies, for instance, you buy a big fridge and you add capacity to it based on your growth. Now in this region, growth is around 70% per annum in terms of storage requirement. But eventually, that big fridge will fill, and you have to buy another big fridge. And then you're faced with migration of data from the old fridge to the new fridge, and the like. What we're doing now is you can buy a fridge, you can have the storage you need today, not the storage you need in 3 years' time. Keep on adding to it. When it fills up, you add another box, and the two boxes become one. It's modular. So it's what we call build out. That is the latest and greatest thing that all the vendors are talking about. So not only build up, which is fill your infrastructure until the point of bursting, and then add another piece, and then have to manage it yourself. You keep on adding, store it as you need it, when you need it, modularly, and it grows. One of the things organizations are looking at in regards to reducing the size of their footprint, there are various reasons. One is obviously consolidation and savings. The other is data center space. As you see, Singapore is crowded, and we are growing every year, and we are inviting organizations to come here and people to come and live here. Biotech is taking off here, technology manufacturing and so forth. So space is becoming a premium. So we need to be able to reduce the footprint. Also energy. The challenges of putting energy into data centers is not just a problem of the third world. It's a problem for any growing economy or economies that are inviting organizations to come and build their businesses here. So we need to be able to provide energy to these places. You can look at that two ways. One is obviously the savings, but secondly green. There's great cachet for organizations in Singapore and in this region to tell their constituents that we are responsible and we are green. So I can tell you that there are energy companies here who are leading by example and reducing their infrastructure and publicizing the fact that they actually use less computing technology to provide even better services to its constituents. And most organizations, governmental as well as corporations, work and play here in Singapore, are looking to be green. So there are two angles to that. One is, let's think about the future of our world, but also there are savings to be had. Best of both worlds, we call it.